Hello everyone. So today we're going to do a lab, and I'm going to be a bit fast. This is a topology. So the main objective of this lab is to go through the steps on how to configure static root for both IPv4 and IPv6. So as you can see, we have both IP versions. This is version 4, and then this is version 6 for L, the network. So the networks, we have 3. We have a LAN network, which is this, and then this and here. So these are LAN, and then we have in between one here to interconnect the two routers. So yeah, in reality, actually, this router 0 here, or this router, it only know, or after we've done the configuration, it will actually be knowing this network here 2.0 and then 1.1. But this network here will never reach 3.0. So it's what you're going. After configuring the IP addresses on all the interfaces, we have to go ahead and configure all ways that set what we call the static root for both IP versions, version 4 and then version 3. So I will access this router, this router here, and then let me try to edit this. It's not clear because this it's supposed to put a 1, and then this we put it 2. Yes. Yep. So accessing the router, go to command line prompt. Then from command line prompt, now that I'm configuring this router here, I need to keep an eye on it. So reply with no, then enable configure terminal, call the interface. This interface, it's in between this, it's G01, so it's 0/1, and then IP, I will start with address 4, which is 192.168, then dot 1, dot 1. I'll give it a dot 1 because what we have here is it is a network address. Then give it a subnet mask dot 255, then dot 255. How many are they? 3.0. You press enter. So now that I have two addresses, two versions of addresses. So I will still, to save time, I will need this by copying, and then this time I'll add the second or the second IP, or the other version, which is IP version 6, then address, and then paste what I copied, which is network address, and still I'll give this a dot 1, and then press enter, then no, shut down. So my interface, as you can see, it is up. Now I'm going to go to this, which is a 0. So I'll use these addresses, which is interface G0/1, edit it to 0, and then press enter. The IPv4 address is here, and the address here, as you can see, it is 2.0 network. It's 2.0/30. So here, meaning that the subnet mask, it will be 252, and then the address here, it will be 2. So it's 2.1. The subnet mask, it's 255.255.2. Then after that, press enter. Now I need IPv6. I still have the IPv6 that I used on gigabit Ethernet 01, and it's what I'm going to edit. So when it comes to this, it's instead of 1, it's a 2. It's a 2. Then I will maintain this one here, then slash or the prefix length 64. Good. Then no, shut down. Now my interface is up, but the protocol is done because the other end I haven't configured 8. I haven't configured that. I haven't configured that. Uh, um, I haven't configured the pro the other end uh, with the exact with the IP addressing. So this side we're done. Now I'm going to close, go to this other router, and then do the same. To do the same. So here, just try to just send this aside and then call this so that it's in the position or the location where I can actually uh, keep track of whatever that I'm doing. So now this is the other router. So I will reply with no and then go to privilege mode and then configure terminal in global configuration mode. Then interface G00, this is the interface that connects to this other router that we are from configuring. And then the address is IP address 192, then 168.2, I'll give it a .2, and then the subnet mask is 255, then 255, how many? 3, then .0. Without closing that, I would use actually IPv6, I need the other one, and then address. Now the address, I still have a copy, I'll just paste and then try to edit it. So this, the network here between, as you can see, it's a 2. So I'll put a 2 and then the last here on this, it is actually still a 2 because, because I'm not supposed to use. Okay, so I will just put a 2 because the other side it was 2.2, then 1. Press enter, then no, shut down. So as you can see, my interface now it's up. Now I need to work on this other LAN, and still I'm going to manipulate whatever that I have here, which is G00. I remove a 0 and put a 1, and then the IP address I will edit IPv. So here we did actually it's a mistake. It's a mistake. I need to get this first. That it's a 1. No, it's a 0. Then the IPv4 address. Now the subnet mask it's 252. Yes, 252. So I'll continue. Then edit this to 1, and then the IPv4 address, it's a 0 here because it's a /24, and then the address is 3, and I'll give it a 1. I hope we should go step by step and you look at how I'm actually manipulating or altering this to have the right address. And I'm doing all this following exactly what I documented in my topology, meaning that the documentation, it is important thing. And then after that, press enter, and then IPv6, it's what we need to add, which is this. Then I will give it a 1 here, and then this is a 3. Press enter, then no, shut down. So all my interfaces, they are up. We can even verify right now. You go to privilege mode and run the command show IP interface, then brief. So this command, it will help you to display the available interface and then the IP address, IPv4 addresses that we've configured. So we have a 2.2, a 2.2, it's in this interface, then a 3.1. And we can actually verify the IPv6. Now if I'm to use IPv6, I don't need to leave it flat here. So it has to be V6 like this. show IPv6 interface, then brief. So still on our interface, the interface remains the same, but what changes? The address. So this is what we configured on the 0, 0, which is this, and then we have this that we configured on 0, 1, which is this one here. And then again, we can go ahead and run the command show IP root. Still, I will be able to display the information, the routing table, the IP version for routing table. So they are here. That this router, it only knows 2 network. Though our topology, the complete network, it's composed of 3 networks, but here we have only we have only 2 network, which is this directly connected network and then this other one. So meaning that the network that is not listed here, then it's not going to work at all. Right? It's not going to work at all. Still, if you go the other side, it will be the same scenario that we are here. It's going to be the same scenario. So let me show. I didn't show the IPv6. IPv6. For IPv6, we have to add it there, IPv6, and then you press enter. So still, this is the IPv6 routing table. As you can see, still the connected network, we have this, and then even this other one. So the L, the way, because I've been explaining this from, I think, from chapter 1 of semester 2, that L, it indicates the exact IP address set on that interface. So on this interface, G0, G01, this is the IPv6 address set there, which is the same even when it comes to IPv4. That L here, this is an IPv4 address set on that interface. Now, so still the same, this side, it will be the same scenario. So now it's time now, since we are aware that this time this router 0, it only knows about these 2 networks and it cannot reach this other remote network. So we have to create a static route so that or this network here is able to reach, or this router is able to learn this network. And we are using static route. I'm going to do this on router 0 here. So we have 2 versions and we have to use them. So I will have to access the global configuration mode and then use IP route. So this network, it is missing which network? 192.168, then dot 3.0, then the subnet mask, which is 255.255.255, then dot 0. So we need the next stop IP address or the exit interface. The next stop IP address on this, it is 2.2, the IP address that is assigned on this interface here. On this interface. So in other words, here this is a .1, so we're using .1 for IPv4, and then this one here, it's a .2. Then for IPv6, we have .2 still. Then on this interface, we don't need this in routing, setting the routing route. On this, still it is 1 like that. So we have both IPv4 and IPv6 on this. On this. Okay, so here the next stop IPv4 address, it's 192, then 168, then .2, .2. So you press enter. there we are done. So we're going to proceed and use even IPv6. But if you are to use IPv6 this time, make it clear. IPv6, then root. Root. Then after that, I need to copy this anyway, whichever it will work for me. Then here, just paste it. It's this IPv6 address, then the prefix length, the way it is there, and then you use the next hop. The next hop it is without the prefix, so I don't need this, but it is 2, then 2. So even this, it has to be edited to a 2 like this. So this is the IPv6 static root. We press enter. So on that router, we are really done there. And then we go to this other router and we do the same. So it will be IP root, and then the network address, that is the network address that is the network that is not known by this router. So it's IP root. Now the network that is remote on this router, it is 192, then 168 dot 1 dot 0, then subnet mask 255.255, then dot 0. Then the next hop address, it's 192, then 168.2, then dot 1. That is the statement, and then you press enter. So after pressing enter, we're going to deal with IPv6, not address, but root. I still have a copy. I still have my copy, which is this. Now, with this router, the remote network, it's one remote IPv6 network, it's 1 dot that, and then the next top IP address, it is without prefix lengths, of course. It will be a 1, but on this segment it is a 2. So this is it, and then you press enter. So right now, our networks, our routers, they are able to, or they do have the routes, or they are configured with routing, static routing, static routes, static routes, where you have to be specific. You're creating route for which network. Static route for remote networks. So to verify, you can be in privilege mode, and our commands are still there. So IP route. So as you can see, we have our static, which is this. It's here. And still I can actually use version 6 and put a V. As you can see, still we have our S. So still I can actually use this side and try to do the same and show IPv root. So we have our IPv. So on this time, actually, as you can see here, now this is troubleshooting. I can't see the entry that I entered, meaning that I did it wrongly. So, and that wrong thing, it's here. This is why I went wrong. As you can see the statement, I'm copying this statement so that I play around with it. So first and foremost, I will need to delete this because I'm supposed to put a remote network, but me, I used the one. So a one here, it's just the network here on this very router. So that's the reason why it's not reflecting in the routing, in IPv6 routing table. So I will start by deleting it. If you have to delete that command, you start with no, and then I copy it, I will just paste, and then press enter. So that statement has been deleted. But I need to edit it. Still, I will paste it, and then use my back arrow to move my cursor, and then go to what I want to uh, edit, which is this, and then put a 3. Press enter. So if I press enter and then go back to privilege mode and run show IPv6 route, this time I'm able to see it. It's here, which was not the case. And still, we can actually use the um, show IP flat without a V, and then press enter so that we're able to see this. Okay, so without pausing, let's try this out. Okay, so we have what we call default static route for both IPv4 and IPv6. So the topology is the same. What is going to change is the routing statement. Everything has been configured, and now it's just we are to add the all we need to do is just to add the root default static root statement. So I will access my router there, which is this, then go to enable, then configure terminal. Here in this, I'll begin with IPv4, which is IP root, and then for default, you don't specify any network. So we're going to use this. Then the 4 space subnet mask. So the network address is zeros, meaning that it matches all the network, even the subnet mask. Then the next top IP address, since I'm on router 2, so I'll use the other one, which is 192.168, then .2.2. You press enter. I need IPv6 root, which is, for it, it's that it is more simpler, very easy. Okay? So it is these symbols and then /0, and then the next hop. Our next hop, let me just copy this again. Save time. So our next hop, I will paste this and then start by removing the prefix lengths. We don't need it. So the next hop, it is 2, like that. But look at this simplicity on this. You don't need to state any IP, any IPv6 network address. So we abbreviate, meaning that all the 8 extents, they are zeros. So you abbreviate them like that, and then the prefix length, it's 0, and then the next hop. Press enter. So on that we are done, and then we go to this other one and we do the same. So on this we're going to do the same, and it is way to go to privilege mode, then close to global configuration mode, and then you run IP root, and then 192.168. Then, sorry, we don't need this, I beg your pardon. So we need 0, 0, 0. Then space subnet mask still in this. We don't need to specify the subnet mask. but it has to be that. Then the next hop, which is 192, then 168, then dot 2.1, back to the other router. This, press enter. Then we need IPv6 root, which is very easy in this case. It's this way, then 0, and then the next hop, I still have a copy and paste, and then remove the prefix lengths, which 1. So it's the IP address assigned on this other interface, on this. Okay, so we're done. Now it's time to verify. I'll then run the show IP root. The commands remains the same. But this time when you look at the statement that we have, it has this extra symbol, S with a starlet or a star, this. So for IPv6, we need to add a V, and if possible you can add 6. Press enter. So still, this time there is no star, but as you can see, it is stated there. So this is another topology. It's not the same topology that where I configured the static. I separated the two for clarity. And then still we can go to this other router, and it will be the same. Show IP root. As you can see, we have our S here with a star, and then we can actually use the V. Still, we have our this is S, but with this, as you can see. So that is it, and it marks the end of this session.